IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week on the IVM Podcast Network. As I mentioned last week, we're going through this COVID-19 outbreak, and because of that recording schedules, we're trying to keep them, but it's a little uneven at this point in time. Beg your indulgence. While you are stuck at home, I think one thing that might be interesting to do is maybe check out some of the complete series that we've done. The Gulaba Cartel, the Woody Woodpecker, Cricketwala Chronicles. These are limited series that are complete. Might be a good time to check out those. Also want to thank our sponsors this week, HDFC Life and Paytm Money. And with that, let me get you onto your show and stay safe, everyone.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. This is your host DJ from London, and I've got both the Garg brothers in the same room, in lockdown in Gurgaon. Hey guys, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Managing the lockdown okay, hopefully?
Yeah, man, managing the lockdown, it just feels like every day is blending into the next day. I have no idea whether it's a Thursday today or a Saturday. So, yeah.
What is it, day 9 without cricket?
Day 9 without cricket. I mean, how great would cricket have been in this phase?
Just perfect. Sit at home all day under lockdown, just watch cricket. Would have been so good. So,
but isn't that what Star Sports is doing? They must be playing matches in loop, right?
Yeah, what's interesting is on the cable package we have here, in the guide, the Star Sports program name says Vivo IPL 2020 Countdown, because at the time of us recording this, we should be 48 hours away from the first ball of the IPL. Obviously, in case any of our listeners have lived under a rock, that's not happening. I think it still hasn't officially been cancelled, but that seems to be inevitable at this point. But yeah, DJ, to your point, all of Star Sports programming says Vivo IPL Countdown, and they're showing last year's highlights and stuff, and it's very exciting, but also very upsetting that there likely is not going to be an IPL.
Bhai, you're just like rubbing salt into the wound, man. I'd almost forgotten that the IPL was due to start this weekend. Seriously.
Yeah, for us, it's the opposite. We talk about it all the time. There's no way we're forgetting.
Oh, man. Intense. Anyway, let's talk about something more fun. I mean, a few days ago, we put out on Twitter, I actually put out on Twitter, Indian greatest all-time test team. So, of course, we got a lot of responses from our listeners, and you guys came in with some suggestions and stuff. So we thought it'd be a good, fun kind of show to do where we talk about, because there's no live cricket, right? That we talk about and speculate wildly about the greatest Indian test team of all time and then the greatest Indian ODI team of all time. So, guys, I hope you've got your teams written down. I know I have. I know Ashwin has. Varun, have you got your team written down? Or are you just going to wing it?
I'm going to wing it, man. Mine is not based on stats or numbers. Mine is based purely on memory and emotions.
The best part about actually sitting in the same room as him, which we so rarely do, is that he's got his phone in his hand and is quickly typing frantically. He's making up the list right now. Whereas you and I have researched it meticulously in the last day. We've got statistics to back us up, and he just had his phone out in his field.
And for all the listeners, I guarantee you, after all the statistics that Ashwin and DJ have done, our team is going to be 80% similar.
Yeah, that's because you can see my screen. So that's cheating.
Oh, no. These are the CEO moves, man. Ashwin, this is how you get to the next level. The C-suite, that's how you do it.
Yeah, for sure. This is why you and I are stuck in middle management. And
well, I'm like the podcast PA, man. I'm only scheduling people's calls still. 100 and
but you do
God knows how many episodes later. Oh, thanks. This is my year-end appraisal.
Especially bad that you did all the scheduling
Appreciation Day.
You did all the scheduling for Jared Kimber, and that was a fantastic episode, which unfortunately you didn't get to join. It was just Varun and I chatting with him. But thank you for the scheduling work on that.
Yeah, most welcome. Of course, I was down with fever and a cough and fatigue and possibly corona symptoms. Oh, wow. I've just had on my phone that Boris Johnson has tested positive for corona. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, side note.
Wow.
That is absolutely insane. Prince Charles yesterday and now Boris Johnson. My God. Okay, insane. Getting back to the show. So, guys, we are going to talk about the all-time greatest Indian Test 11. Okay, so we're going to try and set some random parameters. Of course, none of this is got anything to do with logic. It's just we're just making up stuff as we go along. So there are no time limits. You can have test players from across the generations. You will have to, before we start, tell us what your combination is going to be. Is it going to be 6 batsmen, 1 wicketkeeper, 4 bowlers, or something else? And is it going to be an all conditions team? Ashwin, Varun, what should we do? Should we do an all conditions team, or should we do let's do a 12, right? All conditions 12. And then you can swap one player out depending on conditions.
Can we just say swap one bowler out just for ease? Because at least from when I was coming up with the list, my X number of batsmen, not to give anything away, it would be pretty consistent all condition. For me, the bowlers is where you make the choice of two spinners versus one. So let's say 11 players with one bowler swap.
Fair. Varun, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, you're still typing? Busy?
He's definitely still typing. He has no idea what you just said.
I just love this. Junior is just like letting the cat out of the bag here. Awesome. Okay.
But that means he does this all the time, but he's alone at home in Singapore, so we don't know this. But this is good to get full access to physically seeing what you do while you're recording.
This is great. Listeners, clearly we're all very well prepared for this. So I'm going to start off, okay? Let's start with the openers. Okay, so I'm going to suggest one name at number 1 facing the first ball, and that's going to be Sunil Gavaskar. Sunny Bhai, Sunny G. We lovingly sometimes call him Bakwaskar because of his commentary, but of course he was a fantastic player. Guys, any objections to Sunny G opening the batting, taking the first ball?
Absolutely none from me. Zero. I think if anybody didn't have Sunny G on their as the opener in their all-time Test 11, I'd be shocked. So no objection. I mean, 10,000 plus runs, 34 centuries, just unbelievable.
Yeah, and also he was the first guy, I think Gulu, when we spoke to him, said he was the first guy to kind of stand up to fast bowling. He played them without a helmet. And, really put Indian batting on the map, right, as a world-class player. And, of course, he liked to play. I put him at number 1 because he liked to play the first ball so that he could at least have faced a ball and not got run out without facing a ball. Can you imagine? This is why I also open the batting and take number 1 if I can. If I'm the most senior opening batsman, I ask
Is it better to be 0 of 1 than 0 of 0?
At least you would have not got run out without even hitting the ball. I mean, that would have been like really sad, no?
Yeah, but it's 0-0. You can put the blame somewhere else, right? It's 0-1. It was your fault.
This is the mathematician in you that's going with like you have an infinity average versus you have a 0 average. I'm not sure it works like that. Anyway, you could get run out of the first ball after facing as well. So okay, we're all agreed on the first spot. Okay, the second spot I have opening with Sunny G, a very solid batsman that Sunny G is. I've got Virender Sehwag. Now, I'll explain the thinking behind this. Now, I thought for a little while, perhaps we could have had Gautam Gambhir open the batting, right? And then I went and looked into the stats. Now, the reason I wanted Gambhir to open the batting was because he's left-handed. And a left-hand, right-hand combination for me is always quite nice. But, I mean, the stats in Viru's favor are just overwhelming, guys. I mean, you can't argue with those stats. But Ashwin, is there a objection to Viru? I know Varun will not probably have one. So maybe I'll come to him first and then you can give us your thoughts on Viru or your second opener.
Yeah, zero objection, DJ. I mean, he's on my list no matter what team, global team, Asia team, India only team, Viru has to open the batting. And he'll probably be singing while he does it too.
Yeah, I agree. He was on my list as well. I did almost the exact same research as you on Gambhir in particular, and especially looking at Viru home and away, especially in the Sena countries, where his average is weaker but still pretty strong. And it's undoubted. I mean, you can argue he was a big hitter, he was a fast batsman and stuff, but as you think about him, by a long shot, Test cricket was his strongest format. And so, almost like a David Warner. David Warner arguably has slightly better numbers in T20 and ODI, but Sehwag was undoubtedly a phenomenal Test cricketer. So I have no argument. I think exactly as you mentioned, my challenge is going to be, without any spoilers, the lack of a left-hander as you look at the all-time Test 11. So Gambhir is a very, very, very close follow-up for me, but Sehwag makes it in the playing 11.
And no suggestion of Vinu Mankad? Varun, any thoughts on Vinu Bhai?
I never even heard of him till you mentioned him.
What, even the Mankad? You heard of the Mankad, surely.
I've heard of the Mankad, and that's been great because it's been Ashwin and Josh Butler's picture has been doing the round during quarantine and lockdown saying, stay inside, stay safe.
So good.
So that was great. But apart from that, I mean, I've heard of Mankad, obviously, but I don't know anything about his record.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me just quickly is, we're recording this, assuming this podcast lives forever or stays in eternity, but it's 2020 at the time of recording this. There are 2 openers now who have started scoring a lot of Test runs, one being Rohit Sharma. I don't think he has enough years left in his career that he could eventually be on this list. The one who I think actually could, when you start looking at his early numbers, both home and away, average, consistent batting, is Mayank Agarwal. He's had a phenomenal start to his test match career. So he has a long way to go. We're a little bit biased, probably having just watched the test on Amazon Prime, which shows him had a pretty good run in Australia too. So anyway, that I thought was interesting. Is I fully expect him giving these two guys a fight in, call it, the next 8 or 10 years.
Right, and people have actually been writing into us a lot about the test. What did you guys finally think of it, guys? Just quickly, let's have a 1-minute discussion about the test on Amazon Prime. I know you guys watched it. I finished it a couple of weeks ago. What are your thoughts on the test?
We're only halfway through. We've just finished episode 4, which was the second episode of the Australia-India series. So maybe we table this and have the discussion one more week later when we can do a full deep dive next week.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on, guys. So we've got 2 openers that all 3 of us are agreed on. There was some challenge from a left-hander, Gautam Gambhir, great record, lower average than Sehwag, fewer hundreds. But interestingly, and I looked this up, averages 75 in Indian test wins, right? So he did contribute a lot to Indian test victories. So anyway, I don't think he makes it, unfortunately. Number 3, guys. Ashwin, I'm going to let you take the number 3 spot. Any decent batsman we've had for number 3?
It's tough, right? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who's batted at number 3 for India in test cricket for a long time. I mean, of course, I'm just kidding. Our second highest run scorer ever, Rahul Dravid, the wall, 13,265 runs, averaged 52.6 in his entire test career, but actually averaged 49.48 in South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia, which is just phenomenal, right? I think he has one of the highest averages among Indian batsmen in the Sena countries, just after Sachin Tendulkar. So at number 3, Rahul Dravid for sure for me. I think, like I said about the openers, I think his kind of protege, the one remaining pure test batsman, who's Cheteshwar Pujara, could give him a fight at some point in the future, but zero doubt in my mind Dravid bats at 3 in India's all-time test 11.
Varun, agreement with that, or you got a different candidate?
100% agree. I also have to say this feels like year-end appraisal time for the team, where everyone has to agree with what one of the guys says, and if there's a disagreement, then you put your hand up. But agree with Ashwin, yeah. So the fact that I've agreed with Ashwin means I'll look for his support to agree with one of my picks later on.
We'll see.
Oh, we've made this political. Incredible. Just great. Just great. This is what we need. Politics on the podcast.
Does this mean you disagree, DJ?
No. Of course, Rahul Dravid is by far, I mean, he's one of my favorite players. He is by far the greatest number 3 that we've ever had. Pujara is a good understudy. Pujara has done very well for India. Of course, he averages a shade under Dravid. He's got, let's say, about 8,000 fewer runs. But I mean, Dravid is untouchable, right? And his innings in Adelaide, I mean, it'll always live on. The 180 at Eden Gardens, just incredible batsman. His tour in 2011, where he stood tall amongst the ruins in England. I mean, the wall will always remain the wall. Number 3 is a spot that is sealed for all 3 of us.
Hayden actually said, if you want to see aggression on a cricket field, look into Rahul Dravid's eyes.
Really? That's a great line.
Yeah.
After that, Hayden also said, I've seen God bat for India. He bats at number 4.
There you go. Spoiler alert.
DJ, coming to your number 4 pick. And also, Hayden has got great PR value in India.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
They love him, especially in like Chennai and stuff. They love him, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. He's played for Chennai as well, right? Hayden, first few IPLs?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's why.
I kept picking him in fantasy and he was always due for the last 5 years.
That was at the end of his career. But I mean, when he batted with Langer against India, either at here or back in Australia, just a phenomenal, just a great character, right? I mean, aggressive, but yeah, very well loved in India.
Yeah. So, God bats at number 4 for India. The world becomes less productive when he bats. Sachin Tendulkar, 15,921 test runs, averaging shade under 54, 51 test hundreds, 200 test matches, a phenomenon that we grew up watching. And I mean, a player that we saw many different shades of. Started off as an attacking batsman, hitting every ball, and then became this accumulating run machine, right? And I don't think we have a great batsman who bats at number 4 for India as well at the moment. But I don't think you can argue with that record and the sheer weight of runs. So at the moment, the Edges and Sledges top 4 for India all time, Sunil Gavaskar averages 51 with the bat, And remember, he played without a helmet, so God knows how much he would have averaged with a helmet. You've got Virender Sehwag averaging just under 50, 49.43. You've then got Rahul Dravid averaging 52, and you've got Sachin Tendulkar averaging 53.78. What are bowlers thinking when they come up against this top four of ours? We just pack it up and go home?
Well, the funny thing is actually, these 3 out of the top 4 actually played together. And we lost most of the test matches overseas. So I'm pretty sure the bowlers were not thinking that much.
Yeah, in hindsight, in retrospect, the numbers are phenomenal. But you're right, that wasn't...
We lost
we weren't the dominant
overseas
force.
test after overseas test with 3 out of these 4. So unless Gavaskar could have come and beat down and worn out the bowlers, I don't think the bowlers worry too much.
Oh, wow. Ashwin, he's a bit pessimistic today, I feel. I don't know.
It's because he was writing his list 2 minutes before the episode started and into the start of the episode.
Okay, so now that
anyway, I couldn't agree more. DJ, I was just going to say I wrote down notes for each of the top 3, and next to Sachin, I just wrote no stats needed.
Oh, wow.
Because that's just the truth.
Yeah, he's God, man. I mean, he's just...
Yeah.
Anyway, too much emotion coming back. Okay, guys, so we've got a top 4. We've got a top 4 done. Okay? Number 5. Now, here comes the question. Have you got a combination which is 6 batsmen or 5 pure batsmen, firstly? Ashwin?
I have 6 pure batsmen.
I have 5 pure batsmen.
Okay, so you've gone with the more aggressive option. So, Varun, then I'm going to come to you first. Because you've picked only 5 specialist batsmen, who is your 5th specialist batsman going to be here?
It has to be Virat Kohli, batting at number 5 for India.
Ooh, interesting. Ashwin, I've got Kohli at number 5 as well. You?
Same.
So there's no debate on that.
There's no debate on who we have at 5. We all have him at 5. I mean, it's interesting because he's never... I don't know. I didn't look at the numbers.
He has batted at 5. In Sachin's farewell test, he batted at 5.
And he scored his first 100 at 5 also at Perth. He got... Adelaide. He got 100 at 5, right?
Yeah, and at Sachin's farewell test, Sachin walked in at 4, and this little kid ahead of me was jumping up and down when Sachin's partner got out because Kohli was walking in. And I was like, man, this is such a generation gap. I've flown down from Singapore to watch Sachin's final test, and the kid in front of me is happy because Kohli is walking in next.
Okay, so now that we have...
Yeah, no doubt for me that he's at 5.
Sachin Tendulkar, followed by Virat Kohli. Obviously, I'm making fun.
I think next should be Swami Vivekananda.
He said that too.
He said that.
Okay, I didn't see that clip.
Vivekananda.
Of course, we're making fun of Donald Trump and when he came to India and made a speech.
Donald Trump.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
I'm going to carry on. So we've got Virat Kohli, who averages 53.62 at the moment with 2,700. So that's some top 5. But Ashwin, I've actually gone with 6 batsmen in my team. And the reason for that is I feel the bowlers that we pick will do the job for us, right? And I think you need that 6 batsmen, especially in Test cricket, because you never quite know what happens, especially abroad. And my 6th batsman at number 6 is VVS Laxman. Who's your 6th batsman, firstly? Because Varun obviously doesn't have one.
You and us are unanimous at this. You and I are unanimous at this point. I have Laxman as well. I struggled with this one the most. I was good with my top 5. I struggled the most with Laxman, but I ended up with him. Just a stellar record. Hard to overlook him, and I think just a phenomenal number 6. So I went with him.
Varun, how come you went with Kohli over Laxman though at number 5? I mean, Laxman played the greatest innings an Indians ever played pretty much with that 281, right? So interesting you picked Kohli over Laxman.
I think he had a lot of great innings, man. A 157 against Australia, 281 against Australia. But as I picked the greatest Indian side, I need to balance overseas versus home. And I think the team I have can get the job done.
Okay, so who have you got at number 6?
I've got Kapil Dev at number 6.
Fair enough. So you've got an all-rounder that comes in at number 6. Ashwin, we've obviously
a strong all-rounder, might I add. One of the best all-rounders.
One of the greatest. Yeah. Without fail, man who's hit 4 sixes to avoid a follow-on, man. I mean, incredible guy. Averages 31.5 with the bat, averages just over 29 with the ball. So, I mean, that is the mark of a good all-rounder, right? Averaging more with the bat than you average with the ball. So, Ashwin, who have you got You've got Laxman at number 6, same as me. So, we've gone with a slightly different combination. Who's your wicket keeper, guys? Because now we've done up to number 6. Who comes into bat at number 7 for you?
Mine is Nayan Mongia.
Mine was Syed Kirmani.
Man, that yellow helmet and Foursquare band, don't you like? I want to see that again.
Okay, you guys are just annoying me. That's it.
Okay,
of course.
Jokes apart. Let's
right,
move a little quicker. So mine is MS Dhoni.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, for anybody who watched the test, Langer was talking about Tim Payne when he said this, but he said, Dhoni's probably not our best batsman to don the gloves. He averages just over 38. He's only made 6 test centuries, but you have to pick your best wicketkeeper, and there's no doubt in my mind Dhoni is the best wicketkeeper we've played from a test standpoint.
Wow. Better than Saha and, Kirmani is probably more better technically. Farooq Engineer was supposed to be great as well. I actually went for Dhoni because of the overall package that he provides. 38 as an average for a test wicketkeeper it's pretty high, man. To be totally honest. I think it must be the highest amongst wicketkeepers in India. Ashwin?
I don't have that handy, but I can look at it quickly. I think it was when I looked, and that's part of why I went with Dhoni as well.
So we've now all got MS Dhoni as well. So just some notable omissions from the top. Mohinder Amarnath doesn't make the team, and one of our listeners actually wrote in saying they would definitely have him in overseas tests because he averages like 48 in overseas matches. Farooq Engineer was suggesting.
Yeah, 9 of his 11 test centuries were overseas. So that's really saying something.
Wow, that is pretty intense, man, to overlook him. Maybe we've got too much recency bias, but which of those top 5 are you going to drop?
Yeah,
I think for Amarnath.
Impossible. I think, I had him on my list as a backup. I think he would make a phenomenal, I'll call it number 6 backup. He also gives you a little bit of a bowling option, but I don't think, you could pick him in your top 11.
But Mohinder Amarnath may not be a bad shout for number 6, as you've rightly pointed out. Because he does bowl, right? Jimmy Amarnath was a bowler as well, so he gives you a little bit of a bowling option. I actually
I agree.
May drop Laxman on the back of this discussion, guys. Sorry. And I'm going to go with Jimmy Amarnath at number 6.
Well, you changed it real time. So now we have unanimity at the first 5, and then all 3 have a different pick at 6.
Yeah, so I've got Jimmy because he gives you the bowling, right? And that's a great point you made. I hadn't clicked that. He's an all-rounder.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. He's mostly a batsman who can bowl a little bit, but
but that's what you need in a test match, right? Like to fill in those little bit of overs. Great. Awesome. This is great.
I think I saw that he's taken not a ton of wickets, but can give you a handy option.
Yeah, because Laxman averages like 3 runs more than him. And if this guy can give me some overs with the ball, I'll go with Jimmy Amarnath, man. Okay, so awesome. Good. So we've got Dhoni up to 7 now. Then I've got Kapil Dev. Great all-rounder, incredible player, and I have him as my captain as well, guys.
I also have him at number 8, and I also have him as captain. That's interesting, though. I just assumed you would have taken Dhoni as captain.
So Dhoni is not a great test captain. That's my issue.
Yeah.
I've got Kohli as captain.
You've got Kohli as captain. Kohli is going to captain Kapil Dev and Sunil Gavaskar.
Yes. Why not? I think those guys need a little bit of aggression.
Again,
a little bit of,
Let's be clear, though. In the all-time test 11, you assume Kohli, age 30, is captaining Gavaskar, age 30, and Kapil Dev, age 30. It's not that he's going to captain.
Yeah, he's not captaining a 78-year-old Gavaskar. Ki baag, Puji baag.
That would have been amazing to see him do that to Sunil.
So this is sad. I've dropped poor Laxman and I've gone with him. I've gone with Kapil Dev. I think Kapil Dev just had the stature to captain these guys, man. Like even at age 30, all of them in a dressing room, I think Kapil would be able to manage Kohli. I genuinely think so.
Dhoni managed Kohli.
Yeah. I think he could. I think
Yeah, so Ashwin and I have both gone with Kapil Dev as the captain. Interesting. Right, so we're now down to number 8. We've got number 8 done. That leaves...
No, my number 8 is not done.
Oh, go on.
My number 8 is Anil Kamble.
Ooh, is he batting a bit high? With his one test century?
Yeah. Fair enough. It's a little bit high, but yeah. I have faith in Kumble as a century at Lords.
So I have Kumble in my team as well. I'm not batting him at that high.
I remember 9, yeah.
Yeah, and Ashwin has Kumble as well.
So we've all got Kumble. And he's a leg spinner, keeps it tight, lethal at home and decent away. I mean, by the end of his career, he was quite decent away because initially he also struggled. Okay, so you've got Kumble at 8. Let's say we've got Kumble at 9. So we've all got, we've done up to 8. Ashwin and I have actually gone one ahead and gone to 9, right?
Yeah, so my number 9 is Ravichandran Ashwin.
Big one. Big call.
Yeah, I've got Ashwin as well. I've got Ashwin as number 9 as well, but I've got him batting above Kumble for sure.
Yeah, fair. I think that was a mistake on my part. I should have had Ashwin batting above Kumble.
Ashwin, what is your call?
Your guys' all-time Test 11, but 3 weeks ago on the show, Varun says Jadeja plays above Ashwin in any Test side. Test side.
Today.
But Ashwin makes your all-time Test 11?
Yeah, because Jadeja is my all-time 12th man.
Feels everywhere.
I love the way that this has changed 2 weeks later.
It's incredible.
No, I'm saying in all time. You have to take his entire career.
How can you have something
because he's gone out of... That's like saying Gavaskar should come out and bat in next match.
That's not. It's like saying it's like being in the 90s and saying, or 80s and 90s and saying Gavaskar is my all-time best player, but I'm not playing him today.
At the end of Gavaskar's career, Ashwin is at the tail end.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that. That doesn't make sense.
Ashwin is at the tail end.
They like the same age, Jadeja and Ashwin almost.
Yeah. And Ashwin's saying
but Jadeja's fit as a fiddle, man. He's like 18 and like...
So, but Jadeja's not in your top 11, but Ashwin is. But if we play Test match tomorrow...
he doesn't play.
Because I don't think
you have to assume that your players at their peak, right? That's the assumption.
Yeah, correct.
We just discussed this.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Ashwin at his peak is much better than Jadeja at his peak.
But where did Ashwin lose his peak? He just started getting dropped for composition. He didn't.
I don't know. I think he's not bowling as well. My personal view, if you look at his stats and average over the last few games he's played versus his peak, I think he's gone down.
Interesting.
Anyway.
His batting is dropped, yes.
So
agreed. His batting is dropped. But I don't think his bowling is dropped that much. And I think it's interesting that we play Jadeja as we go in the next test, but Ashwin makes the all-time 11. For me, Ashwin
for both of you
makes the all-time 11 for sure. I'm not a Jadeja all-time 11 guy. Sorry.
Bits and pieces?
Well, you know what they say. Okay. Ashwin, have you got R Ashwin in your team or who's batting at number 9 for you? Let's go with that.
It was very, very close for me. So, I have Kumble at 9, right? Because I have Kapil Dev at 8. Are you following? Does the math make sense, TJ?
Yeah. Okay, you've got Kumble at 9. I think that's batting too high, but who have you got then at number 10?
I have Zahir Khan at number 10.
Okay.
311 wickets, a phenomenal bowling average in Sena countries, and so I have him as my solid number 10.
So I have Zach as number 10 as well, and I have him, apart from the stats, I have him because of his left arm option. And I think you need that left arm, right? Because you've got Kapil Dev, fantastic outswing bowler, good quick bowler. You've got Ravichandran Ashwin in my attack who takes the ball away from left-handers and has the carom ball as well. You then have Zach who brings that left arm variety, the knuckle ball, really clever bowler. And his second avatar was so clever, man. Like even on Indian dust bowls was really good at taking wickets. And so I've got Zach at 10 as well. So that leaves one spot for all of us guys, right? Ashwin, you've already got Kumble. So who is number 11 for you guys?
Yeah, so this was a very tough call for me. I think this was probably the toughest decision. I have Kumble, and Kumble is my spin option so far. Zahir and Kapil Dev as your two quick options, right? As you think about your bowling composition. So for me, if I'm playing a third quick, this is probably going to be a surprise for folk, but for me, my third quick bowling option would be Ishant Sharma. I think he's 297 wickets, just edged his way in because of the tail end of his career. So I think, to your point, there's probably a little bit of recency bias. But if I was playing an extra spinner, Ashwin was very, very high up on my list. But if I was playing an extra spinner because you're playing at home, for me, my number 11 would actually be Harbhajan Singh. So two controversial picks.
Interesting. So I haven't got Harbhajan Singh in my 12 at all.
Who was your 11?
So I had, my 4 bowlers were Kapil Dev, Ravichandran Ashwin, Zahir Khan, and I had Kumble, and depending on the track, I had Srinath. Srinath was my 12th.
Interesting.
So
Srinath ahead of Ishant for you.
Yeah, because Srinath kind of shouldered the attack by himself for so long, right? And if he had the bowling attack that we are giving him with Kapil Dev and Ashwin and Zach, imagine Zach, Kapil Dev and Srinath bowling together, man. Insane. And Srinath wouldn't have to do all the work by himself with Prasad at the other end, or Doda Ganesh, or Abhay Kuruvilla, or David Johnson. And he had some really random people to bowl with for the longest time. So he bowled himself into the ground. He had that rotator cuff injury. but he came back so strong, and I think Srinath would have been, and of course his stats are outstanding, having bowled on those tracks. And I mean, you can see he's won games for India on even Indian tracks. So for me, the toss-up, depending on the track, is it's going to be between Kumble and Srinath, to be honest. On a green track, I would rather play Ashwin, and I would play Srinath. And Kumble would have
so
to
Varun, before you say your number 11, the only other thing I said is honorable mention for me to Bishan Singh Bedi. I mean, you have to look at the incredible spin quartet from the 70s. We didn't watch them play, so there's definitely some bias for me where I'm not giving them the credit they probably deserve. But I had Bishan Singh Bedi for his record alone as one of my spare options as well.
Yeah. So my number 11 is Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah, because he. Again, a guy that I said, this is not a stats decision purely for me. It's a bit of memory, emotion, and Jasprit Bumrah walks into any number, any test team
already.
What?
And
he's dude, seriously, you know what that guy said? He's a baby bowler, man. He's just started playing.
Yeah, and that's why, I just love the guy too much. I think he's already done so much destruction in just the 1.5 years he's been playing.
Wow. I think that's too early for me, man. I disagree with that. Ashwin?
Yeah, I wrote his name down. I think he will, I hope, and I think he will be in an all-time Indian test side in the next few years, but he's not there yet. It's just far too early. Okay, guys, so there you have it. Do you want to just quickly recap your 11 for our listeners? And then we can move on to the ODI. Ashwin? Yeah, so I'll go. I think we had unanimous top 5, which was Gavaskar, Sehwag, Dravid, Tendulkar, and Kohli. We had our first disagreement at number 6, where I had Laxman, DJ had Jimmy Amarnath, and Varun had Kapil Dev promoted up the order. We all had unanimous wicketkeeper at number 7, which is Dhoni. At 8, then I had Kapil Dev, as did DJ. I then wrapped up my kind of bowling options with Anil Kumble, Zaheer Khan, and then at 11 I would play either Ishant if we're away or Harbhajan Singh at home. Do you guys want to just talk your bowlers, Varun?
Yeah, my bowlers, after Kapil Dev, the bowlers I had were Kumble, Ashwin, Zaheer, and Bumrah.
So you had basically 4 out-and-out bowlers plus Kapil Dev.
Yeah.
Okay. And then DJ, who are your bowlers?
Yeah, so my bowlers were Kapil Dev, of course, Ravichandran Ashwin, Zaheer Khan, and Kumble or Srinath, depending on the track. Plus Jimmy Amarnath, man. So that was a great bonus for me during the course of this podcast. I totally forgotten he bowled. So I think that team can pretty much take on anybody in any conditions, to tell you the truth.
Awesome.
So there we have it, guys. I mean, of course, do write in there. Of course, the quartet Ashwin mentioned as well, the Fab Four, great spinners. But I mean, when I went through the stats, they look pretty similar to me in terms of like average and stuff to Kumble and Ashwin. Ashwin's got a phenomenal average and a strike rate. He's got an average of 25. It just sets him so far apart from everybody else. You just I couldn't ignore him. And of course, Kumble, maximum number of test wickets for India, again, can't be ignored. So there you have it, guys. That is our all-time top 11 for the Indian test team. Guys, of course, please write in and tell us if you disagree, why you disagree. I know some of you already have done that. And we will be back straight after this break with the all-time greatest one-day 11. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे पॉडकास्ट लगते हैं. नाम है फुटबॉल शुड बॉल.
Presenting Football Should Ball, a show about 3 friends discussing our favorite game over a beer. Sometimes 3, maybe even 5. Hi, I'm Shiva, and with me are my 2 sidekicks, Gaurav Sapre and Karthik Iyer.
Sidekick? You mean like Batman's Robin or Van Persie Robin?
No, I mean like Alexis Sanchez, but with a little more skill than just playing the piano.
Just shows how the best players at Arsenal are mere bench warmers at United.
Oh, thank you, Iyer. But you're a Fulham supporter, so whenever you say anything to support me, I question my beliefs.
Just like how Griezmann would say, एक बार मैंने जो decision ले लिया, तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता.
Banter aside, we will talk match reports, transfer rumors, top controversies, fantasy football picks, and so much more. So grab a beer and tune in to Football Should Ball every Wednesday on the IVM podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. It's really important that this is a fantastic exercise we're trying to do during a time of absolutely zero cricket going on. So if you hear us ranting a little bit of back and forth conversation, just some healthy argument, it's because we're all, hopefully, just like you, listener, trying to make the most of a time with no cricket on. But, we just did a great deep dive into the India all-time Test 11, the best 11 to ever play Test cricket for India. Definitely some disagreements. I still don't fully understand how Ravi Ashwin made it into both Varun and DJ's sides, but we'll let that one slide, even though I'm a big fan of his. But let's now pivot and talk about the one-day international 11. So actually, before we get into it really quickly, guys, was this an easier exercise for you or a harder one? DJ, you spent some time on it. Was this easier or tougher?
I think it was easier for me, man.
I said, yeah, really? I found it a lot tougher. Varun, I didn't want to even ask you because you spent like 2 minutes on it at the start of the episode.
Yeah, no, my emotions are pretty... And by the way, for all the taunting that these guys have done, the teams were 80% similar.
For the test one.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, but you picked a guy who you dropped 2 weeks ago. So let's just put that
And by the way, for the record, Ashwin, I've always backed Ravichandran Ashwin, and I've always questioned why he's being dropped. So he was making my team.
That's why I didn't give you a hard time. I think he belongs in your current team as well, right? You've been consistent.
Yeah. Okay.
Varun dropped him for Jadeja. All right. ODIs, let's pick 50 over format, what we grew up watching, World Cups, all of this incredible stuff. Pick our best 11, same sort of ground rules, okay? We're going to go whatever your composition is, batsmen, all-rounders, etc., and we're going to leave one slot variable for a bowler that you can choose based on home and away. So let's start with the opening combination. Honestly, this was the biggest struggle for me. So DJ, let me ask you first. Who's your ideal all-time ODI opening pair?
So there are a few, right? Like, I mean, Shikhar Dhawan was an option. Ganguly is, of course, there. Gambhir is, of course, there. But, I mean, how can you look past Sachin and Rohit Sharma? I just couldn't look past those two guys. They were just, I mean, incredible numbers, incredible batsmen, both from Bombay, Mumbai Indians players as well. Just couldn't go past them. And as you asked, right, why is this an easier exercise? Because we've watched so much ODI cricket, right? Like Test cricket, maybe not so much because there's more that's happened. But ODI cricket, we've pretty much seen most of it. So, yeah, Sachin and Rohit for me to open the batting.
Varun?
How can you not have Viru opening? For me, Sehwag and Sachin opening.
No way.
That's a fascinating comment.
His ODI record is
out of the top 5 best partnerships for India in ODI cricket, Sehwag is part of 3 of them.
Yeah, but
against Sri Lanka.
The top one is Sachin and Saurav.
Yeah, but I got Sachin.
Did you have Saurav in your 11 anyway?
Never. It didn't
so I have Saurav further down the order at 4, by the way, because I could not look past his runs.
So hold on. DJ went with Rohit and Sachin. Varun went with Sehwag and Sachin, and I went with Sehwag and Rohit. And I actually think Sachin is versatile enough, although he's the best opener of all times. I think he's versatile enough to play lower down. Yeah. I don't think Rohit.
The last time somebody said that, it was Greg Chappell, and India got 2007 World Cup knocked out in the group stage.
Fine. I don't dispute that. I'm just saying, for me, Sachin is the one player who could play lower down. So I had Rohit and Sehwag opening. I just can imagine that the kind of starts the Indian side would get. So very interesting. Each of us had 2 of the same 3 cricketers. So there's going to be some batting order discussions there. But DJ, let me ask you quickly, because you said Sachin and Rohit. Do you have Sehwag anywhere on your side?
No, I don't have him on my side at all, actually. And I'm just looking through his stats for ODI cricket, and he averages 35, strike rate 104, of course. I mean, he hit the first ball for 4.
Of all players who've made... Of all Indian batsmen who made 1,500 runs or more.
This sounds like a Chris Oakes of all batsmen.
No. This is good. I just limited to 1,500 runs because that's kind of a fair. But of all batsmen who made 1,500 runs or more, there is only one who has a career strike rate above 100.
Yeah, but I mean, I would pick it's Viru, but I would pick someone like Shikhar, man. He gives you the left-hand option also. He's not got those few runs. He's great at ICC tournaments. I just don't see how Sehwag beats these guys to get into the all-time greatest ODI 11 because, frankly, his ODI record was not great. He scored quickly, yeah, but, I mean...
He scored 8,000 runs at an average of 35.
Yeah.
Which, granted, is not great average.
Dhawan averages 10 runs more than him.
Dhawan strikes at 94 versus 104 in a generation where obviously strike rates are higher. Anyway, we can debate this for years. Let's get clear on who our choices were. You had Rohit and Sachin. Varun, you had Sehwag and Sachin. I had Rohit and Sehwag. Let's go to one drop. DJ, who do you have at one down?
There's no argument here. There cannot be an argument.
I assumed not, but you gotta ask. Let's go through it then. 43 ODI centuries in just 239 innings. So at the time of recording this, he has played 213 innings fewer than Sachin Tendulkar. That is 213 fewer innings and is only 6 centuries behind him. Can you just fathom that side? Varun, any debate on number 3?
Zero debate, man. Like, he's the greatest ODI batsman to ever play. So, yeah.
Sealed, signed and delivered. Let's keep going to where there'll be more discussion. So, number 4. So, I said this already, but for me, I have Sachin walking in at number 4. Probably the wrong call, but I could not I could not look away from Rohit and Sehwag. So I have Sachin at 4. I get the batting order challenges, but that's why I'm there. Varun, let me come
Yes, I had Rohit at 4 for the same reason.
Got it. Okay.
But I had Rohit at 4.
So that means, DJ, you said you don't have Sehwag in your lineup. Did you give us a hint already? Is Dada at 4 for you?
So I've got Ganguly at 4 for India. And I just, he's a left-hander, over 10,000 ODI runs. I mean, how can you argue with that? And great player, excellent player of spin, which is important at number 4. And I mean, just wish he was around last year, right? He would have solved our number 4 conundrum.
Yeah, I really struggled, by the way, with not having Ganguly in my 11. I think 11,200 runs, 22 centuries, average of 41. You know, I think where I lost him was he strikes at about 73. So in a world where you have people like Kohli striking at 93, striker at 93, Sachin at 86, Rohit at 89, Sehwag at 104, 73 just feels. Now maybe I'm assessing a player who played in the 90s and versus the modern standard, but to me, Ganguly fell short just because of strike rate. So interesting. So DJ had Ganguly at number 4. Varun, you had Rohit, I had Sachin. So you and I, Varun, have the same top 4 so far, just one different. Who walks in at 5 for you, Varun?
The Punjab, the king of the Punjab.
King of the Punjab?
Yuvraj Singh.
Of course. Yeah, I am consistent with that as well. I think for me, DJ, unlike what Dada gave for you, Yuvraj at 5 for me gives you he has the ability to consolidate, he has the ability to hit big. He is left-handed and obviously gives you a few overs if you need him to. So he was a no-brainer for me. But who was at 5 for you?
Same. I had Yuvraj at number 5. I think one of the greatest ODI players India's ever put out there. Great bowler, great fielder in his early days before he had his knee injury, remember. And I mean, he burst onto the scene in 2000, I think, along with Zach. And I mean, man of the tournament in the 2 ICC trophies that we won in 2007 and 2011. So fighter, champion, hero. I mean, Yuvraj makes number 5 for all of us, I think, without doubt.
Varun, let me
ask you, would you play Yuvraj now in the next game?
He's retired.
You want to go back? You want to go back and look at Ravi Ashwin's stats?
No,
prove you wrong for the first time. No, DJ. Wait. For DJ, for posterity, for you. We were talking about how Ravi Ashwin has declined in his career, right? In tests. Yeah. This is a complete tangent. His average across his career is 25.4. Okay?
Yep.
In 2019, his average was 24.15. So it is better than his career average.
Bowling average. Bowling average. So lower is better.
Bowling average. So lower is better. In 2018, his average was 25.37, also lower than his career average. Okay, so yes, he didn't have a great 2017, but by the way, his less than great 2017, his average was 27. So just slightly above his career average. Before that, he was 23, before 17. So the last 5 years, he's been at least at his career best or better than his career best. So
this is why we prepare for the show, Varun. Just saying.
And you still had him in the list, and so did I.
Yeah.
I told you, man, 80% of the team is going to be the same.
Also. All right, so we're in agreement up to number 5. Varun, my question for you is, there is another left-hander who has almost the same batting average as Yuvraj Singh. His average is 35.3 compared to Yuvraj's 36. He's scored 5,600 runs compared to Yuvraj's 8,600, but he played less. And his strike rate is 93 compared to Yuvraj's 87.
Let me add on. By the way, DJ, I have no idea who Ashwin's talking about. I can't see his screen. But he's also taken 36 ODI wickets.
There you go.
And his economy rate is 5.17.
And we are talking about?
None other than Suresh Raina.
Oh, didn't make your 11?
He's at number 6.
Oh, he is at number 6. You did post some stats. All right. Well played. So we jumped.
Talk about preparation. Burn.
Wait, so you don't have a wicketkeeper at 6?
No.
It comes with later? Okay. So number 6, DJ, spoiler alert, Varun's going with Suresh Raina. I looked at his numbers, but he just didn't quite make the cut for me. I actually have Kapil Dev walking in at number 6.
Suresh Raina and Kapil Dev are both World Cup winners.
They are, but Kapil Dev has 250 plus wickets and Suresh Raina has 36 wickets. So for me, that all-rounder option he gives you at number 6 is unparalleled. DJ, who's your number 6 for India's all-time ODI 11?
I mean, there has to be a wicketkeeper somewhere in this team, right? And who better than MS Dhoni? I've got him at number 6. I mean, number 7, Ashwin, remember, is too low for MS Dhoni, in case you don't remember. Yeah. We had a huge fight about this during the World Cup.
Yeah, but we're not talking about MS Dhoni at the tail end of his career.
Bring him in and bat him at 3.
Ashwin is just conveniently choosing peak versus daylight versus...
Yeah.
Maybe you want MS Dhoni and his debut with his long hair.
Bats in at... Dhoni walks in at 6. Dhoni walks in at 6 above anybody else. I mean, after Yuvraj comes Dhoni.
I'm assuming... Let's just play 6 and 7
in
together.
The World Cup that India won after Yuvraj did not come Dhoni. Just FYI. But anyway.
Okay, let's just do 6 and 7 together then. So I'm assuming you have a keeper at 7.
Suresh and Dhoni.
Dhoni at 7. I had Kapil Dev at 6 and Dhoni at 7. DJ, you had Dhoni at 6, so who was at 7?
I, Varun, you will be pleased to know, had either Suresh Raina, or Ajay Jadeja, because that spot, that number 7 spot, needs a finisher. And Raina, for all his flaws against the short ball, all his issues in test matches, his fitness issues, was a fantastic finisher. I mean, bringing him in the 2011 World Cup in the quarterfinal was a masterstroke. It kind of changed the whole balance of the team. And Suresh Raina or Jadeja, because Jadeja gave you that kick, right? Remember the 96 World Cup where he took Wakar apart? So either Raina or Jadeja, and of course, depending on who's in form and all of that. So,
can I ask how come 175 not out? Obviously, incredible innings. 1983 World Cup winner, strike rate of 95, right? Higher than Raina, higher than Jadeja, and I'll come back to Jadeja in a second. Is there a reason none of you considered Kapil Dev?
No, he's in my team. He's in my team. He's just one below. He's number 8.
Got it.
Because I mean, he's bowling as well, right? And I mean, you can't get one guy to do everything.
Fair enough. I have him at 7, but okay, got it. So I don't mean to jump the gun. Interesting on Jadeja. I actually did think about and consider him too. Suresh Raina strikes at 93.5. DJ or Varun, do you have a guess as to what Ajay Jadeja's strike rate was? Career strike rate?
34.
Strike rate?
Oh, strike rate. Sorry, I think I have it.
Nice.
85.
85. DJ, yours?
72.
69.8. So call it the top 25 highest run scorers ever. He's at the lowest strike rate, which shocked me because I have him in my head as a finisher too, but obviously didn't quite play.
Yeah, but we also didn't win many games, I think, when Jadeja played, if you remember. He would play a lot of these match-losing knocks at the end, right? Like he would hit 1 6 or 2 6s. And
yeah, that's fair.
It would he would have otherwise lost the match. But he looked busy, right? That's what we liked. Maybe he would have been different now. Went more to the gym or something.
Fair enough. Okay. Now let's go to our bowlers. So remember, you can kind of have one variable slot if you need it based on the pitch. But or I guess not necessarily bowlers. Varun, who do you have walking at number 8?
I have actually Bhaji.
Harbhajan Singh makes your ODI 11. Interesting. Okay, DJ, who do you have walking at number 8?
I've got Kapil Dev. I mean, the 175 not out, plus the bowling, plus World Cup winning, plus that catch of Viv Richards. I mean, pure all-rounder, could change the game with any of his suites.
So does that mean, if I'm doing my math right, you're relying on 10 overs from Raina and Ganguly combined?
Ganguly, Yuvraj, Sachin. Yeah, that's enough, right?
So you've basically gone with India playing in India and going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, that's when we won the World Cup, if you don't remember.
I remember, but this was an all-seasons, all-terrain.
Right.
No, but it's a similar team to 2003 as well, no? Because
I think it's
Dravid was keeping, etc. So there was a little bit of little nuances there.
But Dhoni,
you have basically 10 overs from at least a quality bowler.
Yeah.
With a backup option in Yuvraj. Whereas...
I also don't. Because I'm playing Suresh and Dhoni at 7. So all of us have...
so you have Suresh and Yuvraj.
But my part-timers are basically Sehwag, Sachin, Yuvraj and Suresh. So 10 overs between 4 guys.
Got it. So I have 4 out-and-out bowlers and Kapil at 7.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've got 4 part-timers, Sachin, Ganguly, Yuvraj and Raina. 4.
Yeah, so if they play in Toronto, then your team is going to win. Because Ganguly takes 5 wickets.
Ganguly at Sahara Cup.
And if you play in India, then Yuvraj will take all the wickets. And Sachin anyway takes wickets all the time. Kochi mein.
So basically, if Canada and India play a match or bilateral series, your team is going to win.
And if you go to Melbourne, you're finished.
Yeah. If you go to Perth, you're done, bro.
Okay, let's come back. So number 8 for Varun was Bhaji. For DJ was Kapil Dev. For me, actually, it was also Harbhajan Singh, which was surprising. I didn't believe that he would make my 11, to be honest, when I started the exercise.
Is this a pure stats pick or something else?
Let me pull up the stats I looked at. 265 wickets.
Economy rate 4.3 in ODIs.
Yeah, average of 33. So not bad, but not great. But you can't argue with 265 ODI wickets, man. And then I also do, just to go to number 9, I have Kumble at number 9 in this side as well. Oh, so for me, that's part of why it's the pair of Bhaji and Kumble is probably why I went with the two of them. So let's jump to 9. Varun, who do you have at 9?
I have Zahir at 9.
You have Zahir. DJ, who do you have at 9? So you have Zahir in both Test and ODI.
Yeah.
Interesting. And DJ?
So at 9, I've got Zach as well. Again, the left arm variety that he brings, good with the Yorker, which will become more important as we go along. And yeah, the left arm variety can bat a little bit. I remember he scored 75 once, maybe against Zimbabwe, but still had a little bit with the bat and was around when we won the NatWest trophy, if you remember. So yeah, Zach for me as well. Love the guy.
Zach at 9. Very interesting. All right. So I said I have Kumble at 9, and then I have 2 quicks coming up for 10 and 11. Who do you guys have at number 10, Varun?
I have Srinath.
Consistent. Same for me. DJ?
So I've got Kumble. He's not a quick, obviously.
So you did play Kumble.
Yeah, I did play Kumble. Yeah. And so I've got one specialist spinner. That's Kumble. He bats at number 10 for me.
So just the one special spinner. Okay, I have 2. And you said you and I both had Srinath, right?
Yeah.
And then let's close it out with number 11. Who's your final bowler to wrap it up? So I'll go first. For me, this time I went the direction you did, Varun, which is I went with Jasprit Bumrah.
Why? It's not enough.
100. He's already got 100 ODI wickets. Right? He's already got 104 ODI wickets, I think it is, at an economy of 4.55 in the generation he's playing in, at an average of just 24.43. So to me, it's too super early. I'm probably jumping the gun a little, but it's less early than Test matches. But 100 wickets, you picked, who do we have that's next lowest? I guess we have people like Kapil Dev took 250 odd wickets in 200 games, and Bumrah's at 100 wickets in just 64 games. Right? So just an incredible record. DJ, who do you have as your number 11?
Boom, 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 rah. Boom, 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 rah.
So consistent.
That's
There you go.
Because it's the Yorkers, man. You need him. Good with the new ball, good in the middle overs, great with the Yorker, fantastic bowler. And I agree with you, early days, but he's shown us enough in limited overs to tell us this is the real deal, man. Tests, not sure as yet. He hasn't played enough. But limited overs, already an all-time great for me.
Interesting. You?
Bumrah.
Wait, you made fun of me and then you said...
because I choose based on potential and emotion and all of that.
Got it. So potential and emotion, you didn't want to play Rishabh Pant at 7?
No, that's too early.
That's too early.
Let's talk in 2030.
Right. And then let me give you guys an opportunity to say if there's one swap you made based on pitch, based on conditions, etc., who would you drop or bring in?
Jadeja.
Jadeja as your batsman?
No.
Ravindra Jadeja, number 12. Oh, sorry, wrong Jadeja. We should probably clarify that when DJ was talking earlier about number 7, I'm assuming you were talking about Ajay Jadeja, right?
Yeah, that's the guy who smashed Wakar everywhere. In 96 World Cup, Ravindra Jadeja.
But we'll never know. He could have. He just didn't get the chance.
Yeah.
He could have done the celebration.
He could have taken Wakar to bits and pieces also.
So your number 12 would be Jadeja in spinning conditions.
And then I'd take Srinath off when he's not bowling and put Jadeja into
just to field. Nice. DJ, who's your number 12? Who's your swap?
So I think I've given you the 12, man. It's either Raina or Jadeja for me, depending on who's in form rather than pitch conditions. So
Got it.
I'm not going with an extra bowler. I've said very much one spinner because we have some part-time spinners and a backup slow medium swing bowler in Ganguly, which is also one of the reasons I picked Ganguly, because he gives you that little bit with the ball in seaming conditions. But happy with Zach, Bumrah, Kapil Dev and Kumble as my 4 solid wicket-taking bowlers.
Got it. So for me, the swap out is Harbhajan Singh would go out and Zach would come in a seaming conditions. So you have your 3 solid quick bowling options. Right. That's pretty fantastic. For me, I have Srinath, Bumrah, Zach, and then Kapil Dev as your 4th.
And who's captaining all of these great cricketers? Say it.
I don't think I thought about captain.
Say it.
MSD.
MSD.
I think I gotta go with Virat, man.
What?
I have to go. You went with Virat in the test team.
Yeah, but MSD in the ODI setup.
I'm just saying that to upset DJ.
Dude, that's too upsetting, actually. The guy is just, I can just imagine him in the dressing room being such a boss with all these guys. Even Kapil. I can see Dhoni captaining Kapil.
You never gave Srinath a chance to captain. You never know. Yeah, for sure. Srinath's definitely got the personality. Virat.
Guys,
Srinath the match referee.
we've done 12th man, we've done captain. Who's the coach of both our test team and our one-day team? Is it Kirsten or Greg Chappell?
Undoubtedly Shastri for me and both. All Shastris are all format, all condition coach for me.
Kapil Dev and Shastri. Kapil Dev being coached by Ravi Shastri.
That sounds amazing. Anyone being coached by Ravi Shastri. I don't know. I honestly didn't think about coach. Probably Gary Kirsten.
Gary!
Yeah.
Nice guys.
Wow. There you have it. Any kind of honorable mentions, folks, you left out? I was looking through the list. I struggled a little. Do you know, Varun, without looking at my screen, do you know who India's number 3 highest ODI wicket taker of all time is?
Number 3 highest.
None of us mentioned. So Kumble is 1.
Ajit.
Srinath is 2. Zahir is 4.
Ajit Agarkar.
Ajit Agarkar.
I thought of him.
88 wickets and an average of 27. So his bowling average, better than Kumble, better than Srinath, better than Zahir, better than Harbhajan, and almost just slightly worse than Kapil Dev.
So I thought of him and I discarded because his RPO was really high for when he played, man. He took a lot of wickets.
It was 5.07 compared to Zahir, who's at 4.95.
Yeah, but Zahir played later than Agarkar, na? He finished later than Agarkar.
I mean, Agarkar made his debut in 98, Zahir made his debut in 2000.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I think scoring rates went up, man. And Agarkar was just... My memory of him is those 46 wilds, man, in 99 in England. Do you remember? Against Zimbabwe, we gave away like 47 extras and Agarkar was responsible for most of them.
DJ... Ashwin and I are watching the test and we can't remember what happened in the test matches from 18 months ago.
It's exciting for us because there's suspense as to what happens in the Melbourne test.
I don't know what you're expecting us in 96 to remember.
99. I just said 99. It was 3 seconds ago and you called it 96.
There you go. That summarizes it.
Genius.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, guys. There you have it. DJ, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, guys. That's the 2 ODI 11 and the test 11. Of course, we've had lots of fun kind of putting this together. Ashwin and I spent quite a lot of time on stats and Varun just went with his gut feel, which is, to be fair, is not very different from where we ended up even after the stats, right? So, if you guys think differently, do write in. Tell us what your best ODI 11 is, what your best test 11 is. We're at contact@onetiponhand.com. We're at onetiponhand at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And we will be back next week with yet another episode of the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. In the meantime, because you have time on your hands, leave us a review on iTunes. It always helps us grow the show. Tell your friends about the show. I'm sure they're looking for stuff to do during these challenging times. And if you have an idea for a show, write in to us, man. If you have a guest you think would be good to have on the show, tell us and we'll try and get them on. But anyway, until then, stay safe, take care, and we will see you next week with another episode of the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast.
Look! Up in the internet! It's a meme! No! It's a cat video! No! It's the Geek Fruit Podcast!
That's right, we interrupt this riveting broadcast to tell you about our show, The Geek Fruit Podcast, where Tejas, Dinkar and I, Jishnu, talk about everything in pop culture, including DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Netflix, and everything in between.
You know how your friends hate it when you ramble about some nerdy crap and you just want somebody to listen to you? Well, sorry, there's nothing we can do about that, but come listen to us ramble and it'll almost be like the real thing. Kind of.
Listen to new episodes of the Geek Fruit Podcast every Monday and the Geek Fruit Bulletin every Thursday on iTunes, Google Podcasts, the IVM app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Happy listening, you nerds.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Vaisa, a show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Vaisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.